Pokemon lovers and other people. It is time for another rating of the Pokemon. I curled my hair and I look fucking weird. So, that's the thing. Pokemon, here it is. My Pokedex app. I'm opening it up. Last week we ended with Chansey, the egg lady Pokemon. And today we're starting out with Tangela, the spaghetti monster Pokemon. Yeah. Tangela is a Pokemon that is covered in purple vines. I've never seen a purple vine, but apparently it's a thing. Also, his vines look like spaghetti to me. But you know, this is Pokemon, so why am I even surprised anymore? I don't know. Tangela is a Pokemon whose true identity is yet to come out. We don't know what he looks like underneath all the tangles, but what I'm imagining is like just around, like a Ghastly, but with round eyes and red little shoes. Tangela's vines wiggle around all the time to distract its opponent and make it confused, and that is why it's covered in vines. So Tangela is, I don't know, I'm just not quite sure what Tangela is, but let's give him 2 out of 5. Next up is Kangaskhan, the parent Pokemon. Is that really what it's called? The parent Pokemon? Because that is true. But it could also be called a pouch Pokemon, a kangaroo Pokemon, since Pikachu can be a mouse. Why the fuck not, right? Kangaskhan is obviously a mother, and it can only be female. It always has a child in its belly. And it's very protective of said child. It will protect the little baby with its life and everything. Do you think being in a Kangaskhan's pouch would be like really comfy? I think it would. I would like that. Don't you think that would be like really warm and snug and you can just sit there like, hello? Like that kid from the anime. What's his name? No one knows his name. People probably know his name. I do not. Kangaskhan has a mega evolution where Kangaskhan pretty much stays the same, but the tiny little baby Kangaskhan comes out of its pouch and attacks you with its tiny fists and is slightly adorable. Nothing bad to say about that. So Kangaskhan is a 4 out of 5. Kinda dig it. Kinda dig it. Next up is number 116, Horsea. Now Horsea is a name that comes from horse, seahorse. What? I know. Horsea is classified as a dragon Pokemon, but it's not actually a dragon Pokemon, it's a water type. I don't understand, but the logic is far gone by now. We all know that. Whatever. What Horsea does is something a seahorse cannot do. It spurts ink out of its little mouth into your eyeballs, and yeah. Do you remember the episode where Misty found a Horsea in the water and it was just really fucking cute? I love Horsea. I've always loved Horsea. That episode made me love Horsea so much. So Horsea for me is a 5 out of 5. Then Horsea evolves into Seadra. Then Horsea evolves into Seadra, which is another dragon Pokemon that is a water type and not a dragon type. Why is everything so confusing? No one knows. Someone explain it to me, because I don't do that much research. Only a little bit. Now Seadra is another one of those aggressive parent Pokemon. As you know, seahorse daddies are the ones who breed the eggs inside their belly. Seadras do the same, and Horseas obviously, and they are very protective of their nest. If you get near their little egg babies, it will spike you with its body spikes and it will hurt you and poison you and murder you. Don't come near Seadra's child, my friend. You don't wanna go there. Do not go there. 4 out of 5. Number 118 is Goldeen. Goldeen is a goldfish Pokemon, and it is kind of beautiful. It has these beautiful tail things, what do you call those, that flutter around when it swims, and it's pretty fast, and it is kind of gorgeous. And what I always notice is that it just, does it have nice lips? I think it has nice lips. I don't remember. I think it does. But Goldeen is really hard to contain if you put it in an aquarium, its horn will drill right through that shit. But if it does that, won't it just end up on the floor and just splatter around a little bit? Because an aquarium is usually not in the water. It's outside of the water. Anyway, Goldeen is a water Pokemon I really like, and I give him a 4 out of 5. Then Goldeen evolves into Seaking, and it kind of becomes pretty ugly. Why does it become so ugly? Why? So Seaking is a large goldfish Pokemon with an even bigger horn, and Seaking, and I think Goldeen too, can swim up on waterfalls during the breeding season. I think Magikarp can do that too, actually. They're pretty powerful fish. Don't underestimate the Seaking. And Seaking, of course, as well, can do the horn thing through the glass of the aquarium and hurt anyone that's standing outside of that glass at that particular moment. I feel like Seaking is a bit of a downgrade from Goldeen. I think Goldeen could have evolved into something far more glorious and beautiful, but it didn't. It evolved into a fat fish. Seaking for me is a 3 out of 5. I'm sorry. Next up is 120 Staryu. I think it says, or maybe Starmie does. Staryu is a starfish Pokemon, and it can regenerate its body limbs, whenever they're cut off, but the core stays intact. Now, sometimes I'm like, does this even ever happen in Pokemon? Do people cut off the limbs of a Staryu? That doesn't sound nice. It sounds kind of horrible. Why would you do that? Staryu is a Pokemon never appealed to me in any type of way. It's just a star with a thing, and it beeps, and sometimes it goes do 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 do, and then it faints. And the only thing I do like about Staryu is like the spinning attack that it does, and it just looks cool. And that is it. Staryu never left an impression on me in any way. Not sure why. It's just meh. It's just a star. So unoriginal Pokemon. Stop. 2 out of 5. Then Staryu evolves into Starmie, and now here's the thing that kind of confuses me. Starmie, apparently, this is what it says in the Pokédex, his core can glow in all 7 colors of the rainbow, but it's always red. I have never seen it in any other type of color than red. Also, Starmie is just 2 purple Staryu on top of each other. I mean, Dugtrio is 3 Diglett next to each other, so why am I bothered? I'm not. I just not a big fan of the Staryu line. It's Is there anything else that's interesting about Starmie? Yeah, the only thing that's interesting to me about them is that they're both water and psychic types, and I think that's a really cool typing, but that's about it. It doesn't do anything else for me other than just be a starfish. Why don't you just stay on the bottom of the ocean and chill for a little bit? 2 out of 5. Next up is Mr. Mime. Now, Mr. Mime is a barrier Pokemon or a mime Pokemon, and I'm very good at miming. Can we just take a moment? Yeah. The thing about Mr. Mime is it can solidify air with his fingertips. Now that is fucking cool. That explains why Ash and his mates always walk up into this barrier of invisibility. Mr. Mime is a good cleaner. Mr. Mime in general is kind of cool, and I really like Mr. Mime Jr. I think it's adorable. It's adorable, but we're not even at that part yet, so never mind, I didn't say that. Mr. Mime for me is a 4 out of 5. Next up is Scyther! Now, Scyther is a Mantis Pokemon, and Scyther is really fucking awesome. There's nothing bad I could say about Scyther. It is really aggressive, but I don't really mind. It is just really cool. And look at it with its blades. Scyther barely ever actually flies, but it does have wings. And the thing about Scyther is that it lives in a group, and you know the thing where they always have a group leader, and then they fight, and then there's a new group leader, and then the old Scyther leaves, and then Tracy finds him. Well, that doesn't always happen, but it should, because Tracy is one of the best characters in the Pokemon anime ever. Tracy, I appreciate you. Anyway, Scyther is a cool flying grass type Pokemon. I think he's awesome and he deserves a 5 out of 5. It sounded like I was going to say something else after that, but I didn't. Next up is number 124, Jynx. It is called a human-shaped Pokemon. Don't know why. Doesn't look like a human to me, Nicki Minaj. But Jynx caused a lot of controversy. Jynx caused a lot of controversy because the face used to be black and people thought that was racist. There's more racist Pokemon in the universe, but those are far away from us. Whimsicott. And Ghastly is black. I don't understand. Anyway, they changed their face to purple and now it's just a purple lady with luscious lips. And the thing about Jynx is that it wiggles around while it walks and it can make people dance in unison with her. That is a good quality. And it also is Santa's helper. She's a cool gal. A cool gal that gets 4 out of 5 stars for me. Balls. Not stars, what the fuck? That was it for this week. Next week we're starting out with 2 of my favorite lonesome Pokemon. Electabuzz and Magmar. So be on the lookout for that because I really like those guys. So, I will see you again next week. Give me a hug. No. Bye.